F250, I'm going to get to the point. Speedometer doesn't work, transmission doesn't shift because the speedometer doesn't work. Put it in drive here, park, reverse, neutral, drive. RPM system up. And the speedometer stops working. Or doesn't work. Okay, so what we're gonna do is look at the vehicle speed sensor. Now, vehicle speed sensor for this, because it has that code P0500, I believe it was. We'll look at that code later, but the vehicle speed sensor on this thing was changed at a different shop, and they still had an issue, so they brought it here. Let's see what happens. Alright, you got this in gear, in drive gear, with the wheels spinning. Let's see, the ABS, or not the ABS, but the vehicle speed sensor is right there in the back on the differential, right there. Make sure everything is tight. Drive shaft is spinning. Make sure you don't get hit. You do this type of test. And we go up to the front, took off the front tire, peeled the what is this thing called? In the wheel well cover off. The 250 here, make sure you see it. And under there you have the ABS computer. Right there. So you take the wires loose and we're looking at the light green with a black and the, I think that's a red with a pink wire here. We're going to test that while it's running with the U-scope. Okay, this was not getting a signal, and the speedometer is not working. However, when we hooked this thing up, it didn't show a signal at first, but now it does show something. Let me see. This is on 200 millivolts and 50 microseconds. So I'm going to show you all something. You see, this is getting a signal. You would think this is the true signal because it is showing something, and this is 0.2 volts and 50 microseconds. But for some reason, this is not the proper signal. I don't know if it's backfeeding from the ABS or something. I guess this is important to note. The speedometer is still not working. Perhaps maybe there's a short to ground or something, I don't know. But it's still not working. Now this is up here by the front, by the ABS on those two wires that's going directly into the ABS computer. Now I'm going to show you a different signal. Pay attention to this signal when we get back to the sensor, which is over there by the differential. Now we're going to move to the back. Looking right into the lines there and see what kind of signal we get. We're not getting anything. It's at the same microseconds and it's not showing anything back there, even with him wiggling. Remember, the sensor was disconnected. We still were getting some hazy signal. Now we're closer to the sensor and we're not getting anything. Now remember that signal now. We're wiggling the wire, nothing is happening here. Okay, you see that? Nothing's happening. Alright, now I'm going to take that sensor off. Take the connector off, go directly into the sensor and see what kind of signal we get. Let me using these things right here, push right into the prongs. You get to see that signal now. This is the true signal. Now you saw how the signal was at first. Now here's the true signal. This is 0.5 volts in 5 milliseconds. Alright. So I'm going straight into the sensor now. Going straight into it. Now we got to figure out how to get this signal up to the ABS. So that signal we saw at the ABS, which we didn't see back here, even with the sensor connected, must have been some type of backfeeding. So now I guess you got to make sure you know what is a known good signal, or you'd be thinking that feeding that's coming back was the right signal. Maybe there's a short to ground or something. I don't know, but what I'm gonna do, I'm going to cut these wires right here next to this sensor and then test them to see if I get this right signal. If I do, then I know somewhere in the wire is touching something. If I don't, then it's somewhere in this connector that goes into the sensor. Okay, got this cut going straight in here. Testing. Hooked into there and I'm not getting a reading, so it ain't showing nothing. And it should. I had it on the right setting, which means somewhere inside that connector is bad. Somewhere I'm wiggling it. I mean, somewhere up here is bad. Not making a good connection. Maybe the pins are too spread out. Okay, I got this new connector here that I put on here, and it's a pigtail. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hook up the scope to these leads here. I have to start this truck up. Should have had it running, but didn't. I'm gonna see if we're gonna get a reading. Let me get up here. I gotta start this truck up, get up on the ladder. Get up there and start it. I'm gonna make sure this thing right here don't fall down through vibration. Let me see here. All right. Okay, we got this here. Now the wheels are moving. Drive shaft is turning. Turn on this U-scope. Where are you, U-scope? Where's the power? There you go. Right away we see there's something going on. Okay, on this new connector. to where I'm going to be here. 6 volts, 3 volts, 1 volt. Yes, I'm at 2. Move over to only thing I hate about this. Okay, alright. Get over. Oh, stop. Let me turn this off. Start over again. Okay, now go over. Where I want to go. What I hate. Gotta get this right. Do I get this? Oh, I see. There it is. Alright, there we go. See, I play with this stuff, so there you go. Now you see the difference in the reading now. First we got no reading, and when I was up there by the ABS sensor, I was getting a reading even though it was disconnected here in the back. So that had to be some type of reading that was, I guess, backfeeding from the ABS computer. So I guess that's why you need to know what a good known signal is, because we would have been thinking that you're getting a good signal when you wasn't getting nothing. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to hook this up to the harness, and then I'm going to see what type of signal I'm getting there at the ABS. Okay, so I'm just going to hook it up to the harness. I'm not going to solder it all together yet. I just want to make sure the signal is getting up by the ABS. Once it's getting up by the ABS, the speedometer will be reading if it's working. So we'll find out. Okay, now we are here on the ABS. Wires is going directly into the ABS now, and we are looking for the signal, and we see that the signal is now reading on this oscilloscope here. So you see the difference in that signal versus the other one. Now you got a good signal. The speedometer should be working now on this truck. I'm going to get up there and see if it works. Then I'll put everything back together. Let me climb up this ladder. Alright, see what happens. It's in drive, it is working. I see it right now. Shifting too. Shifting real nice. I can hear it shift. Do it again. Oh yeah. Alright, I can turn this off. And I'm going to solder the wires together. And that will be it for this truck.